I'm going to share some of my own experience with you because I know that it will be shared by many of you who struggle at times to even understand where you're supposed to get the time from to do these things for the business that I'm always talking to you about in these live videos. So stay on here with me if you're interested to hear more about that. Make sure you let me know if you're on here with me live. I can see a few of you there now. So hello, hope you're having a great day. And if you're catching the replay, let me know later on when you watch it in the comments as well, just by writing replay. So I want to talk to you today about this concept called the whirlwind, which is something that we are all inside of when we're owning and operating an auto repair shop or any business for that matter. And the whirlwind is that thing that is essentially us working in the business. It's that day-to-day stuff that must happen in order for the business to function. Your team are in the whirlwind, your customers are in the whirlwind, and you have the ability to step a foot out of the whirlwind, so to speak, in order to have vision and create and work on the business. But you'll never be free of the whirlwind unless you take those moments to step out of it and do your business planning, make sure that things are implemented, coach your team, prepare your marketing strategies and get them launched. So I'm very much aware of the whirlwind in my business, and I got a giant reminder last week that I had been dragged back into the whirlwind far too much, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. So here at the Workshop Whisperer, with full-time employees and contractors, we have about 12 on the team now. And they're all spread out all around Australia. And we also have one amazing employee based offshore as well. And we're all virtual to each other. So long before COVID, my business was already online, as many of you know. And none of us are in the same location. So that adds a layer of complexity to it. But we're also very fortunate that we have not been disrupted in that way by COVID. But what this means is that we all need to be connected in the online space, and we use a project management tool for that called Basecamp, and that's how our team communicates. But what has started to occur as the team gets bigger, obviously that requires more of me in the leadership space, the more people we have on board. And what it has meant of late is that there was less time for me to be in my on the business space, my creating space, even my space where I get to come on and do these lives with you. And the reason that had happened was because I'd allowed it to. Even though, I have a lot of conversations with certain members of our senior leadership team around how I require time to do my role. So I require time to be the CEO, but I'm still the chief creator of all of the things that we do here at the Workshop Whisperer, and I need time to be able to do that. And last week was a big insight into just how far into the whirlwind I had been dragged, because I was spending 5 days online with my coach, but the team was still requiring things of me and had stopped following our normal processes in some regards in order to get the answers to things that they needed, the solutions to problems that they potentially been able to work out for themselves in the past. And it made me aware that my calendar had very much become one of helping everybody else with their agenda, but my own work wasn't getting done. And it's really, I've reflected a lot in the last couple of days about how easy it is for us to support the team, and in some cases over support the team, where to the point where they get comfortable again, just coming and asking the questions. So I'm always talking to you guys about setting your team up to be solutions focused. And of course, I take my own advice there. But it's also, it's been interesting to notice how when I've got super busy, the team has tried a few different tactics in order to pull me back into the whirlwind so that they could get quick answers to their problems. And there's been times where I've just quickly given them the answer instead of allowing them to develop through the process of problem solving themselves. So when I come onto these lives and I say to you, you've got to create the time to work on the business, I know that many of you think, well, I don't even know where to get the time to do that. And here's what I've had to do this week. I've had to go right back to square one. And I've had to create time in my calendar every morning just for the team. So the team knows that the projects that they're working on, if they aren't able to progress with something or they need clarification, then between 8 and 11 in the morning is the time that they can come to me to get that clarification so that they can keep moving. After that time, though, then the team, and I'm not available because I need to step into the space where I'm working on my projects for the business, then the team needs to collaborate with each other. And that means, and in your case, what it might look like is that you've got a sign on your office door that says, do not disturb. And, the team goes to their next immediate leader in order to start the problem solving process for the issue that has arisen. And for me, that is the way that I still get to support the team, but then I know I've got that dedicated time in the day. I've blocked it off in my calendar. Nothing can get booked in there. And that's the way that things need to work. Now, in your environment where you've got, real live people and real live customers, you may think it's not possible for you to get that kind of time, and you may think that I'm, barking mad to even suggest that you put a do not disturb sign on your door. But you just need to understand how to tweak that for your situation. So for some of you, I know you don't even have an office to be able to close a door on. So it may mean that your dedicated do not disturb time is actually outside of hours before the team comes in or after they go home, or maybe it's a couple of hours on a weekend, which is not ideal long term. But the whole idea of creating this time to work on your business is so that you can grow the business to a place where maybe you do a renovation and you do have an office, or you get to grow the business to such a point where you can finance additional team members. You can put somebody into middle management. You can grow leaders. That means that you get to step out of the whirlwind a little bit more as time goes by so that you can really settle in and do that work on the business. Don't be fooled into thinking, if you've been running your business for 10 years, that you don't need to spend this time. If you've got to the point where you are now, without taking dedicated time to plan, to implement, to lead and coach your team, and you think your business is doing okay, it's just by luck. It's not by management. So really, take on board best practice here. All of our most successful engine room clients all have time carved out in their calendar each week to work purely on the business. And that could be having that meeting that you need to have with the accountant or your bookkeeper. That can be assessing your marketing strategies. That can be doing feedback forums with your team, which is just vital if you want your team to stay on board with your vision and to walk with you. So make sure that, you start small if you're not yet doing it. And yes, it'll have to be outside of hours if you don't have the team on your crew at the moment to allow it to happen during the day. But it needs to happen. You need a metaphorical do not disturb sign like I have, or a literal one if you've got an office door. Even if it's half an hour to start with, where you say to the team, I am unavailable. Yes, even though you can see my office door and you know that I'm here, I'm unavailable because I've got to get this done for the business. I trust that you found that useful. Let me know in the comments if you struggle with getting this time to work on the business, or if you believe that you do a great job of it, share your best tips for it in the comments as well, so that the other members of our free Facebook group here, Your Profitable Auto Repair Shop, can see as well. And of course, if you know that you need a little bit more help with your auto repair shop, or you've got some goals but you just don't know how to achieve them, then make sure you click on the link here with the video, take our quiz, book a time for a chat, and we'll look forward to speaking with you soon.